welcome back to Riga. You're inside the Riga Arena. It's the final game of the day, the second game in Group A, Ukraine and Spain. Intriguing is an understatement. We know less about this Ukraine team than possibly any other team, but they have talent that plays across Europe. They have a superstar, and they're playing Spain, the #2 ranked team in the FIBA rankings. Ukraine with the lowest ranking, 38. But that's a little false, because in recent times they have been climbing those rankings and will go up. Here's the schedule. Great Britain had a 74-60 win over Latvia. Now, the nightcap game here in Riga. Ukraine and Spain. Spain, the perennial medalists. Spain come here as the defending champions. And they come here never having lost to Ukraine in EuroBasket final rounds. They had, over the lifetime of this competition, they've only ever lost once, to Spain, to Ukraine, and that was a 73-54 loss, but that was way back in 1995. So it's a long time since Ukraine have downed the Spanish national team. Just about to get into individual player introductions. With me today, Teresa Branlova, the former Czech international player. And Teresa, we've had some great games already, but this game, I'm not sure. If it goes to sort of form, these guys are going to win. But Ukraine have an X factor, and they have an unknown quality. It's going to be intriguing.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, because obviously the Spanish team is such well played as a team as well. And on the other hand, it's Ukraine, who have one big massive star, who has averaged over 30 points in the qualifiers as the only player out of all teams, and that's Yevgenia. So it will be interesting to see what the game tactic coach Lucas Mondelo is going to come out with, if he's going to allow her to score loads of points and then defending the rest of the Ukrainian team, just not give them any more space. On the other hand, it will be interesting to see if there will be any other Ukrainian players stepping up and helping Yevgenia against this strong Spanish team, who is aiming to win gold at this championship and become the first nation to basically win 2 consecutive golds in almost the past 30 years. So yeah, it will be quite an interesting game to see what this last show up of today's first day of EuroBasket women has to offer to us.
Well, the other intriguing thing, Dimitri, is the Ukrainian team are introduced, is that this is a very old Spanish team. No younger players on the roster. Astuendor is the youngest player at 24. Lots of people in their late 20s, in their 30s. Is this team picked for this one tournament to get the gold in the way that Spain always do? Because it looks like this is a team, this is the last time a lot of these guys will play together. Be interested to see how that pans out as we get this first game. We'll talk about that more after the national anthems of both countries, and we'll start.
Team Ukraine, Goran Boskovic, and assistant coaches, Ilan Kochube.
And now we'll have those national anthems.
For the national anthem of Spain.
And we'll start with the national anthem of Spain. The national anthem of the Ukraine.
National anthem of Ukraine.
Well, players, coaches will exchange those mementos of the game at halfway line, and I'm intrigued, guys. We're going to get a look at the rosters in a moment, but I'm intrigued about how this game is going to pan out. Before we talk about it a little more, we're going to get a look at the three officials. Here they are. Maja Forsberg from Denmark, Violet Julji from Norway, and Tamas Bulhazi from Hungary will take charge of the last game, the nightcap game. Again, to round off the first day of action here in Riga. This Spanish roster, Teresa, is, let's just say, experience is an understatement. Going to get a look at it right now.
Yeah, but one more, I would say as well, that these players play together for so long that they probably know each other so well, like on and off court, and it's almost identical to the roster which has been playing in that World Cup last year in Tenerife. And I'm pretty sure that every position, if you look at that roster, every position is a name. Either if it's the Astuendur or if it's the backcourt and guards of the Spanish team, they have such a depth within their bench as well. Here's the first five: Laura Nicole, Leila Halel, Marta Shoja, Anna Cruz, Astuendur. Name by name has a big history in basketball.
Well, here is Marta Zagai, the player that we're identifying, and I think Zagai is going to have to take that lead role that Alba Torrens. You know, she's a former MVP, European Player of the Year, out-injured, and Zagai, with all the experience and her ability to score, is going to be absolutely crucial if Spain are going to go deep.
Yeah, absolutely, and Marta Zagai is a really intelligent player as well. She has a high IQ basketball-wise, so anyway, so I expect big things from her as well, and she's a great leader of the Spanish team.
Well, here is that Ukrainian roster, highlighted by number 23, Alina Agupova, and as you say, 32 points a game. And that's just, it's over a 6-game series. She just shows up every single day. And the intriguing thing for me is if Ukraine are going to go deep in this competition, she needs other players to help her.
Absolutely, that's without a discussion, because at this level, yeah, she is an almost magical player, but against, especially in today's game, I think that would not be enough if only one player plays against that strong team of Spain.
Well, because it's almost Coach Mondello will be saying, well, if she scores 25, it's all right, because whoever guards her, and he can use bodies against her the whole time. Whoever guards her, that's fine, but you just better guard everybody else, and you better rebound, and then we're going to win. And the other thing that always intrigues me is who does she guard? Because if she guards a talented player, they've got to make it work on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know the Spanish team is quite well known as a team, well played as a team offensively and defensively. And when you have one really strong player in your opposition team, you would not really play a good team defense on her. And I think that's what Spain is definitely capable of.
Well, the other thing, obviously, how good will they be in the backcourt? This Ukrainian team with Gorbets in the backcourt. For Goran Bošković, the Serbian coach of Ukraine. And it's going to be intriguing for me how these matchups work out, because I think that will set the tone of the game. And also Spain at times will want to run, but do they have without Torrens leading the break, do they have the horses as such to get up and down the floor in the same way? They've had good preparation. Although GB, who we saw recently beat Latvia, took them to a 2-point game in the last game before both teams traveled to here from Madrid. And so that is, again, another intriguing part of this game. La Palau at 39 years old, has retired once, and she's like Frank Sinatra. She's on another farewell tour, but she's a legend in her own lifetime. And here we go, wherever you're joining us from, welcome to Riga, welcome to Game 4 if they won, and Spain and La Palau in the red uniform will get the first look at this in the half court. And we watched the Ukraine practice, and they're showing that very front-heavy 3-2 zone. Zagai with the 3, and then Dor just dominated on the glass, but it's knocked away. And Agapova leads the break. Nice look, easy 2, and that's, I think, the key to how well this Ukrainian team, how many times does she give it up for someone to score easy.
It almost seemed like all Spanish team was focusing on Jakubova and completely forgot her teammates wide open under the hoop.
Nice lift. La Palau doesn't want to take it. Gets it off to Nichols. Someone's got to shoot it. Nichols with a foul line jump shot under pressure. And the ball will belong to Ukraine. Jakubova will advance it. Does a little bit of everything, as well as score lots of points. Jakubova doesn't get it. They play denial. Zargai's the matchup. Nice pass to the inside. And Gorobets puts it on the floor. Cruz gives her a little bump out of bounds, but plays great defense and stays in stance. Ana Cruz leads the break for Spain and is fouled.
Yeah, when you ask that question, if the absence of Albatura is going to affect the transition offense on the Spanish side, I don't really think so, because I think just the face of their game is to have that quick transition defense, and Ana Cruz just has showed it. Stole the ball under the hoop, straight away push the ball and run and draw a foul.
3-2 zone. Go inside, and Endor with a jump shot is no good. In Spain, with jump shot and jump shot, have come up empty. Jakubova has it out top. Little dip up to the inside. He's no good. And Tudorenko came up empty. Cruz gets nothing going to the basket and didn't really go that strong. Jakubova's going to have to touch it every time. Puts it on the floor, a little handle. Endor tried to move her feet, and Jakubova just drew contact.
Yep, it's a great recognition from Jakubova, knowing that Astu Endor is way slower than her, and you gotta attack her, and that just shows the quality of Jakubova, reading the floor, knowing who's her defender.
And to be fair, Endor didn't do a bad job until allowing the contact to generate the foul, because she did make her make a tough move, was moving her feet, but just gotta let it go once you get to that stage. And the free throw drops, even the rings like Jakubova's attempt to score. She goes 2 for 2 from the line.
Now we see Leila Palau organizing the offense for Spain. It's her 9th appearance in EuroBasket.
Ana Cruz on the sideline, and I know she stepped out of bounds. They generated the long closeout, especially down the back of that zone with a 3-2 zone, and tried to attack. So that's a good sign, but found the sideline. Gorobets will handle it, and Cruz giving her a hard time. Spain trying to extend defensively. Jakubova picks it up. Tough move to the middle is no good. Pilar picks it up and runs. Zargai will be open. He's a foul. And as you say, push the ball, push the ball, push the ball, but I think the difference that we're seeing, no Torrens on the end of the break to try and finish the play.
Yeah, now we've seen that push, but there hasn't been really good spacing offensively, running that break from the Spanish team, because there's no space to attack, no space for easy pass or anything. So sometimes you just want to run a quick break, but in the shape.
Cruz with a pull-up 2 is short, and the ball will belong to Ukraine.
When we've seen Ukraine to practice, we just mentioned, Mark, that the Ukraine team has, most of the players are around like 185 centimeters, and they all seem to be almost same size, except for 2 players within their roster. And I think right now they're really feeling the pain really well, because they're testing Spanish team if they can hit some outside shots.
Cruz with a great steal 2-on-1. Oh, a poor pass. Zaga had a layup if the pass had been better. And Spain, to an extent, highlight what you've been saying already. No spacing at all. Poor pass started it off, but the Ukraine did a really good job in transition. So
here we see that great.
And we've talked a lot about the teams that have players who can create, and historically, Spain have had those players. Great
Right.
pass, Nichols to 2. And Palau can create with the pass. Super look. And against the zone, that should not be possible. If they pressure the ball and fill the middle, there's no way Nichols gets the little slip to the hoop. Gorbet stops, pops, is no good. And Spain again, 4 on 3 if they just make the right decision. Indoor in the trowel and is fouled. And that's not the smartest foul. Off balance, sending it to the free throw line.
Yeah, and again, there wasn't really much space for Enduro to cut to because there was Laura Nichols posting up right down, as we can see right now. So, as you said, it wasn't really the smartest foul to come in.
Dort knocks down the free throw. Chance to tie the game with 6:29 to go. So it's going to be 4-4 after 3.5 minutes. So neither team's come out with much rhythm offensively. We are tied at 4 with 6:29 to go. Agupova gets it into the half court. Quite a passive start by Agupova.
It's almost like she's testing. She's just watching what her teammates can do as well before she steps up.
Palau is fouled in transition. Gorbets. I'm going to ask you a question right now. To me, there's a naivety around the Ukrainian team where there's a couple of situations where they've fouled and there's no need to. And offensively, they're a little static. Agupova's going to have to play, right? I don't see how they win this game unless Agupova starts really being much more aggressive. Generating options.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will see it, Mark. And you know, what worked till now is once you say something, they're gonna freeze you. So
that's what it's all
I think
about.
her time is coming, definitely.
Zagai steps behind the arc for 3. Is no good. He goes on the glass, but Ukraine do a really good job at competing. Agupova pushes, gets in the lane for 2. There you go. Be aggressive, and she is aggressive.
Yeah, but what Ukraine does really good is fill that paint.
Zagai and 1. Oh, that's a Marta Zagai move. Take the contact. She's strong. She finishes the play. Goes to the free throw line. Gives Spain the lead if she makes it.
And this is that aggressive penetration of Yegorova. Transition offense. Grab the ball and go.
And Ukraine with over 5:40 to go already in the penalty, and there's no better team in European basketball at exploiting advantage. I don't think this is the last time we'll see Spain at the free throw line.
Definitely not. I think they're going to get loads of free throws this game.
Zagai ticks it over, and Spain have their first lead of the game.
We see Anna Cruz trying to really put the pressure on the point guard of Ukraine.
Mr. Litska. Agupova with an extravagant 3. Let's call it that. Cruz wraps it to Pilar, lines up the 3. Cannon. Much better spacing, much better rhythm. Sabrina Savitska gets it into the half court. I'm surprised we haven't seen Udodenko become more aggressive. Agupova wraps the pass. Easy 2, but it's all about the pass. And Melmenko gets the 2, and now we've got a game. Now there's some rhythm. Now we're up and down. Spain, after looking a little tentative, very disjointed, with 4:50 to go in the first, lead this 13-8.
Yeah, and again it comes with that quick transition offense. Spain's trying to run and show us its first second of this game. And as soon as they really corrected that spacing, how they run into that break, straight away they have open shots and good positions to finish.
So the Ukraine with 0 for 2 there, Agupova 3. 2 for 4 for Spain, they've made their last 2. I mean, look to me initially, Teresa, that the zone was good, but the way Spain have dealt with it is to not let it become a half-court game.
Yeah, I think Ukraine stepped into the game feeling that inside space to allow the quite athletic Spanish guards to penetrate into that space. But it was just a matter of time when they hit some long distance shots, and it just happened. So right now the Ukrainian team will have to adjust a little bit, even though they didn't really score them against the zone as much as they scored them against from that quick transition offense. But we'll see how it's going to continue.
Well, here's the little wraparound pretty pass to generate the assist and the 2 for Naumenko. But it's always an interesting dilemma. If you're going to be in the zone, how many people do you send to the glass? Do you get back? It's, you know, you have to pick your poison, is this phrase. So, Zizka into the half court. So important, as we keep saying. Coming out of the timeout, get what you want. You've taken that timeout. Make sure you get something that you want to get. Pass. Oh. Beautiful pass. So Yopova gets the assist. And at the moment, she's giving points to people. Spain again in transition. Cruz penetrates, has it knocked away. Ball's ripped back by Zagai, who misses the layup, but will go to the free throw line. And I think we are going to shoot a lot of free throws in the nightcapper.
So far, they're 100% 3-3 from foul and shots. Definitely important element in the game. We've seen that in the previous games when some teams have been struggling a little bit from that distance, from that line.
So back on the free throw line. To Zagai, who could make these in her sleep, I think.
Another player with money in the bank.
So far, I'm well up on that, but now she's bound to miss this second of the 2. 4:23 with a 14-10 advantage. And Zagai remains perfect. I don't think she's in the ring yet. It's just so sweet to watch.
Number 6,
So we see again a change of point guards on the Spanish side. So let's see what Silvia Dominguez is going to bring to the Spanish team in terms of the rhythm.
Yupova, now guarded by Nichols. You'd have thought she might have gone at her. But again, looked at the mismatch down low, but I don't think that's much of a mismatch. Mara Zagai plays bigger than her size, very strong. Yupova against Nora Nichols looked like a better option. Yupova. Now she's got Nichols again, and she chooses to go to the pass to the inside. Move to the far side of the ring. Great offensive rebound, and the 2 is good. Tremendous work. And Udorenko, who we thought would be a factor, gets her points going. Zagai puts it on the floor, needs a pass, finds one. Dominguez to the inside with a up and under, which was a crazy looking shot. Didn't catch the iron at all.
I'm not sure if that's the way the Spanish team wants to play when the shortest player on the court wants to attack.
Oh, Vina is on the floor. Talk me through, if they show us a replay right now, talk me through this. I don't know how much defense she can play better than this. Oh, it's a foul. It's a foul.
With that hip kind of tension.
Yeah, she didn't step that lead leg across at all, did she? Referee's right again. So frustrating, all the time. Little scoop to the inside. Olvina comes down and pushes. Will instantly make this team a little quicker. Dominguez will skip it. And Olvina is fouled, and she will go to the free throw line. And Spain are there again.
What does Ukraine play really good is playing that mismatch, playing their advantage in size at certain positions, but just the last shot miss kind of to make. That's the element that they're missing so far, but they do read the floor really well as well against the Spanish team.
Olvina, part of the team that won the gold medal in 2013. Has been in and out of this national team in tournaments.
Absolutely, and she's going to play EuroLeague for USK Prague this coming season. So great time for her and for USK Prague.
she ruins that perfection from the line. Agiopova in and out, wide open from the perimeter is good. And she just, if she carries on like this Ukraine team could be so interesting because she is giving people wide open looks. And at this level, these guys will make those looks. Tremendous penetration, drew the defense, and found the open, wide open shooter.
She's really playing smart. She knows that the Spanish defense is focusing on her. Great steal right now. And she's really delivering to her teammates right now. No need to force.
Agiopova opens up for it. Great pass.
Another 1/5 assist.
I think she faked the whole crowd on that play. Everyone in the crowd went up for the shot. Tremendous pass. She still got to finish the play. And Ugonenko plays league basketball in Wrocław in Poland. Takes the hit, gets the two, gives the Ukraine a chance to open out a three-point advantage.
And we said before this game, it's going to be a question how many Ukrainian players can support Yegorova offensively and defensively, basically, in whole performance. And so far, I think Yegorova is asking her teammates to take a part, and they do really use it well.
Well, and the zone is, if they get him into the half court, Dominguez turns it over, they get him into the half court, generates the turnover. Referee made a bad pass, so I've given them the ball back. And Biles Savitska has done a nice job since coming off the bench. Lara Gill looks to rip that away, and Agapova rushed that pass, turns it over.
I think now Malashenko didn't read it well because she just went into the way of the Agapova penetration, and that's why that turned over.
Dominguez will penetrate, Urbina pulls up from two, is foul, and they will shoot yet more free throws.
This is quite unnecessary personal foul. Malashenko is now trying to question the officials, but you know, once you put your hand down, it will always be considered as a foul. So just close out with your hands up and don't put them on the player. We see another Spanish player on the foul line shot.
They're all getting a go.
I hope they have practiced enough free throws prior to this game.
Over a season, Urbina is she's an 80% plus free throw shooter across a season. And she goes 2 for 2. And Spain have already shot 9 free throws. This could be for those people trying to get home quickly to get their bus and everything, this could be
Very slow game.
A long night. Lisvitska and Ukraine combined to turn it over. I think Coach Mondello is going to find this game a real frustration and challenge because Ukraine are a little unorthodox, shall we say. Lara Gill out top will hit Silvia Dominguez and reverse the basketball. Dominguez, Urbina will move it on. Zagai attacks it, catch and go. Great rotation defensively and a tremendous effort on the floor as Yatskovets, Ruzhenbarak, club player, really just stayed with it. You've got to love this commitment. We're on day one of EuroBasket women and everybody's on the floor.
Yeah, so that's just so, I'm pleased to see it. But it just tells you how much importance every team puts into this team effort and vibes. Yeah.
Puts it on the floor. Dominguez contains that. 9 on the possession. Svitska has to take the 3. Oh, drops it from deep. And Agapova didn't touch the ball in the offensive set for the first time.
Yeah, and you could see straight away a frustration a little bit on her face because she's probably used to really having the ball in her hands. At least give her touches, but this time she can't be mad because Bielotska really hit that 3.
Deep 3-2. 4-point advantage for the Ukraine. Dominguez drops it inside. Nichols reverses the basketball. Urbina will find Zagai in the corner for 3. That's a spot, can't connect. Defensive rebound or is poured in by Radlovic.
I wonder if Ukrainian team's gonna stay in that zone defense for a whole game or not.
Wow, you're 21-17 up. If it's not broken,
Yeah.
don't fix it. Same spot, not the same result, and Nichols will pick the rebound up off the floor. Domingue will want to play some half-court basketball and want to get the last shot clock. Here's about 3 seconds difference to the game clock. Zagai moves it, Orvina. Zagai again on the baseline. Little runner for 2 is good.
Great attack behind the backs of the defensive players. Ooh.
And what they're going to call... It's a blocking foul. I'll go with a blocking foul.
First personal foul.
Our Spanish friends behind us not happy.
I think people who's watching can hear us through out our microphones as well, because it's so loud that you can't miss that.
That's a Spanish referee in the crowd. And because of the foul and because of the bonus, a chance here with 1.4 seconds to go for Agupova to increase the lead to a 4-point lead and give Ukraine 23 points in the first quarter against a Spanish team that really are struggling. I think they're struggling to work out how to approach this, because they've been beaten. How do they guard Agupova? Because she's come out and made assist after assist after assist. And we said before, didn't we? You've got to guard everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And she has 5 assists in that first quarter and 6 points herself. So that's a great performance in the first quarter. But one more, I think the rest of her team is performing as well, and that they're really stopping that quite, let's say, variable offensive defensive Spain.
Well, that will do it for the first quarter, and Ukraine with a 23-19 advantage over Spain. That's not the script. So with these stats, Ukraine shooting 55 and 40%, great numbers against the 38 and 33. But the 9 free throws for Spain, keeping them in this. That's a Ukrainian fan to come back here to England. She's having fun because this team is playing so well in that first quarter. I love the way they share the basketball. They're finding ways to help each other be good. And the zone, you asked the question, I'll ask you back. When do you take it off? When do you keep it on? What do you think?
I think I would keep it on because it obviously works against that Spanish team. All they have to do is to protect the basket against the quick transition offense of Spain. But when it comes to 5-on-5 on the half court, I think that's really, because the Ukrainian team is quite tall as well, so they're filling the paint. And as long as the Spanish team won't hit some long distance shots as they did those 2 quick threes, I think they will struggle against that 5 defensive players of Ukraine setting in the zone. So let's see. I think Coach Bošković doesn't have a reason to come out of it for now, because it's been working so far in this game. And as soon as it's Leila Powell has sit on the bench, I'm kind of missing that quick transition of the Spanish team to push the ball and try to get there earlier than the Ukrainian team's going to set that defensive zone.
It's a great call by Coach Bošković, because if you look at statistically, Spain has very, very good players. They don't necessarily have great shooters. And as you made the point, the size of that zone makes life very difficult. So this is going to be intriguing, and I think it's the ability to get out and run that's going to make the difference here for Spain. Start of the second quarter then. Little pick and pop action. And to the far side of the ring, and they blow the layup. Defensive rebound is hauled in by Maria Pinar. Cruz to the corner. Dominguez attacks the closeout, stops and pops, hits the floor, and looks very longingly at the referee for the foul. I actually think she's got a case as well, because it looked like she was hit on the way down. Laura Nichols does a nice job on the glass.
Because Spain trying against the zone to really attack that baseline, which really worked so far. Either if it was Margozalga or now Silvia Dominguez having that open shot. Ooh. Great foul.
Two, and they slice through the seams of the zone, and that will be the problem for Boskovic if they start to do this.
Yeah.
Tremendous penetration, shared the ball on the penetration as well. Boskovic hands it off. The mid-range two is off, but we have a whistle, foul on the play. Laura Nichols will pick up the two as Velovic will go to the free throw line.
First personal foul. Player substitution for Team Ukraine with number 32, Ludmila Kalenko.
Velovic misses the first of her free throws. But knocks down the second, re-establishes a three-point advantage. And Silvia Dominguez gets Spain into the half court. Pina comes high and reverses Cruz. Always looks like she's going to attack you. Extra pass, Zage, her spot in the corner is good.
A great ball movement from Spanish teams. Finding Margozalga in that corner again wide open.
All right, it's overloading that baseline, isn't it, with the two players? Yep. Penetration. Agapova forces one and misses. And the Cruz will chase it down. Will turn over almost as Vitska really has looked very, very effective at the points. She didn't start the game, but since she's come in, she's done a really good job for this Ukrainian team. Pina needs a pass. Zage, same spot, same result. Overload that zone, come off the baseline screen. And from being three down, Spain open out a three-point advantage on the back of Zage threes. Agapova has it knocked away. Dominguez with the quick hand. Spain with numbers down the floor. Pina's really added a bit of quickness in that fourth spot. Cruz to the hoop for two. Does everything but makes the layup. Boskovic looks to re-establish a little bit of control here for the Ukraine. Foul by Anna Cruz, probably the frustration of the missed shot.
Number 15, Anna Cruz, second personal foul. 2 balls for Team Spain. Player substitution for Ukraine with number 19, Alicia Udovico, and number 31, Anna Ovo.
Agapova, one-on-one with Pena. Gonna move her feet, challenges the shot, but Agapova just drops the two. And to be fair, there's nothing else Pena can do. She had to little scapper a little bit, and Agapova just drops that two, that real rainbow-like two.
Yeah, the question is if you might get close to her and allow her to penetrate, and you can rely on your teammates' help. But
absolutely.
That's probably the only way you can guard her.
Dominguez will find Nichols at the high post. Looks down low. They turn down the high to low option. Cruz drops the three, and that spot has been so productive.
It's a hot spot for Spain right now.
Get your mobile connection in that spot as Spain are going to work on that hot spot. Again, it's the weakness of the zone with only the two players down low, and Varga is going to be called for the hold. And to an extent, I think she has a case.
Yeah, that pass has been a little bit on the wrong side of the player from Agapova. I think she would have passed the ball a little bit on the side away from the defender, and then Udovico would have right line to the rim.
Well, Spain probably put their biggest lineup they can on the floor in terms of positions. Pina, Laura Gill, and Laura Nichols at 3, 4, and 5, if we get a number of them, that's when they go big. Agapova just blew past her.
Yeah, but then now Pina has adjusted, but there was no one on the split line to help with that penetration, and that's what we mentioned a couple of possessions ago. If you don't want to give up easy shot for Agapova, you want to be on the split line for that coverage of the penetration.
what else is she going to do? She's going to put it on the floor.
Yeah, indeed, and she's such quick and aggressive into it that you have to be there as a team defense.
Yupova has it, settles for the three, way short. Nice pick up though, and active on the glass. And frustration, real frustration for Udorenko. Really watched the ball, saw it was short, reacted faster than anybody else, and then just blew a 2-footer. 10 seconds on the possession. Yupova has it. Lara Nichols switches. Now she's got to rely on her teammates. And you've got to say, Lara Nichols played great defense. The angle she gave her was tremendous because the penetration was there, but not to the basket. And her teammates were there too.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I like Lara Nichols and Jakubova because she is aggressive player as well, defensively.
Dominguez, and one. They look so much more effective if they can put it on the floor and attack those seams, Spain. Dominguez back to the free throw line for the extra. And then starting to establish a little lead. As we know, the Ukraine can make that disappear in no time.
There's been a difference between Silvia Dominguez's penetrations when she penetrated in the full set zone defense a couple of possessions before, and now she really penetrated before Ukraine even set that zone defense, so there's been space for her to penetrate to.
Kourakakis checks in, so Mondello continues to rotate, trying to keep his defensive intensity. Temperature Kavitska gets it into the half court. Agiapova. Puts it on the floor, shakes a little move, gets to the far side of the ring. And you've got to take away those drive lanes. If not one-on-one, you must get help. Aragil puts it on the floor, is fouled on the floor. And that'll be the second team foul for the Ukraine.
I wonder if it would help if the Spanish team is going to fill that inside space and just one player is going to stay on Jakubova. That's another tactical question for Coach Mondello, but he is such an experienced coach that I'm very sure he will come out with something.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a great point. It's like, do you think he might not want to do that because he doesn't want to accept that he has to, or because it's one of those things that I'm sure other teams would do?
Yeah, because right now we see that Spanish team likes to penetrate. Ooh, and again they proved me wrong.
No, I think they had penetration and moved the extra pass. It's now an 8-point margin because Spain have literally started to knock down threes for fun.
Yeah.
Yupova. Oh. Okay, that's what she'll say. That's enough. Let's stop that drought right now. And that again really does put some high arc on that jump shot. Dominguez again breaks the defense down. The mid-range jump shot. Pinner can't get it to drop. Nichols on the glass. When you create a professional career, you do something very well. She gets to the glass as well as anybody in Europe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Lara Nichols has a big basketball heart as well. I think I've never seen her give up any possession. She is really a real fighter, and she can bring the energy into the team really quickly. So great effort on the glass.
So this is the question now for Coach Boskovic. When does he change? Does he change? Is he going to say, we'll play the zone better? Does he make an adjustment? Does he come out of it? Coming out of it exposes his players to a man-to-man defense. Does he not think they can? All those questions, Teresa. What would you do?
Yeah, I think there's no reason why not to try man-to-man defense at this stage of the game, but obviously the Coach Boskovic would have to react really quickly if that doesn't work and go back to what it really works. But right now, Ukrainian team seems to be a little bit slow to set their zone defense, and I think maybe the man-to-man would a little bit wake them up and bring them a little bit energy again back to be quick into going back to the zone defense, because right now Spanish is using the slowness to setting their defense and attacking the space and being effective, and that's why they're leading so far now in the game.
Well, here's the replay. If you don't guard me, I'm going to shoot it. Yukova knocks down the three. that Spain appeared to have dealt with and stopped is Agiapova penetrating to assists and making passes to assists. They're now faulting her to say, yeah, take a tough one. So everybody's really stepping up there and respecting their opponent. Meanwhile, back after the timeout, Lara Nichols will go to the free throw line. I'll put her back in the game. Spain pressure up the floor following the timeout. Get the steal. Palau just about hangs on. Spain get a new 24 in the half court.
Great recovery from Ukraine, filling again that paint and allow Spain to score those quick 2 points.
Kathas with found Gill at the high post by Palau. We've got a whistle on the play, and I think the foul is Belitska. Gavitska picks up the personal.
Second personal ball.
Yeah, officials are quite consistent calling these hands on the players, so players need to really adjust and be more on their feet positioning-wise than with their hands. Another typical foul, hands on the player.
Another unnecessary foul. We're shooting more free throws.
Number 32.
Still almost the half of this quarter to go, and both teams in a foul trouble.
And number 4, Lara Nichols on the free throw line.
And it's not the officials. It's not the officials calling too many fouls. It's just hands-on defense. It's all because the officials are calling it entirely correctly. And there's no other way to deal with it. If you're going to put your hands on, it's a foul. Nichols goes 2 for 2 from the line this time, and Spain beginning to open it out. 8-point advantage, 4:45 in the first half. And Belitska still at the point. Melashenko moves it on, Belitska. Agiapova sitting down at the moment for the Ukraine, so nice lead pass. Gal runs the break, gets the 2. Double-digit lead for Spain.
And again, it comes to Leila Pau being on the floor and really deliver those quick passes into the fast breaks.
Melashenko moves it on. Now Menko dives, doesn't get a look. Sketska puts it on the floor. Got to put it up with 1 point or 1 second, literally, to go.
It's just about the offensive, to catch and shoot, because there's not much time to do anything. And now I would say the Spanish defense switch everything.
Ball never got reversed. They throw up the prayer, not answered. Chance for Spain to run, and they blew the whistle. And I suppose if they weren't sure if Spain was going to collect it, they had to blow. Well, it's still the matchup zone, but they're extending it a little further. That's all it appears now. Kathas with nowhere to go. Palau with 7 on the possession. Kathas comes high, has to take the mid-range jump shot, and it's sweet. And yet another 2 points adds to the 12, makes it a 12-point lead with just under 3.5 to go in the first half. And it's almost like normal service has been restored. Takes the 3, is no good. But now gets the rebound, looks down the floor, as she always does, gets it back. And this is where I think Spain's such an efficient basketball team. They're not going to they're going to try and get a shot every time down. They have the momentum, extra pass, but now lines up the 3, is long. Defensive rebound gathered in. Belitska leads the break, or leads into the half court. Melashenko. Spain with hands in every passing lane, 5 seconds on the possession. And without Igiapova, who's coming back now, the Ukraine don't appear to have, well, it's not they don't have any options, but they have very few.
Yeah, very few, and there's no one really stepping up to take that leadership role while Jakubova was on the bench. And when you were speaking, oh, and here she is.
Tough move because she had no time. She ripped it and went, and her core strength and ability to take a hit so well demonstrated there. Back to a 10-point game. Lara Gill, high, defense all over her. Inside, outside, mid-range jump shot is good. Super.
Yeah, the Spanish team is very disciplined. Like, they just play what they want. They are patient. Only lost 4 balls so far in the first half, so...
Igiapova on the turnaround is good. I think we're at that time of the game where she said, hey, I'm going to have to drag us back in this. Back to a 10-point game.
Are we going to see another 30 points performance from Jakubova? That's the question.
Quite possibly.
I think we might could even see a 40 points performance if she's gonna decide to really go herself and try to stay in touch with the Spanish team, because so far she had 2 touches after she came off the bench and she scored both, and not even hardly, she really scored them quite easily.
Well, Mondello had seen enough, so he takes the timeout. I think he's just going to decide, do I run people at her, do I make her give it up? It's got to, otherwise it'll become, every time Spain don't score, Ukraine could eat into the lead.
Yeah, I think it's completely up to the coach Mondello, what strategy, what game plan he's going to put in, and because definitely he's fully aware of the quality of Jakubova and her contribution to Ukrainian performance. So we'll see in which strategy they're going to come out at this time out. Because to be honest, scoring 45 points in one half, which is still 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, it's a great offensive performance from Spain, but giving up 35, you probably want to decrease that number in the second half.
Well, these two teams obviously played in qualification, and Spain steamrolled the whole group, apart from one game where they only won by 4 points against the Ukraine. It's not, there will be no surprises for either team. I mean, in the game that was close, as the mid-range jump shot is short, 4-point advantage for Spain in Ukraine. Ball, great hustle. Igiapova, this is going up, steps back, puts it up, and is fouled, and will go to the free throw line for 3 shots. Yeah, I don't care if she's Igiapova, you don't foul the jump shooter.
Yeah, absolutely, and I still kind of have a feeling I would have put just one player on her and let her penetrate and then try to create something as a team defense against her, even though her qualities are amazing, but still, she can't play against 5 players. So I think every time she has scored, she has just outplayed her own defender. But where are the rest of the players to help that one defender?
Well, she makes the first from the line. We now have a 7-point game. It's exactly as he said. If you don't come up with something different, she's going to make a better percentage than the Spanish team. So they will get back in the game. But penetrates, stops, looks over the defense. Igiapova comes up with the steal, and there goes coast to coast and one. And I think that's what we were just saying. Unless you find a different answer, she will outscore this Spanish team.
Yeah, and we have to also put in consideration the fact that first, let's say, 5 minutes of the game, she was more distributing the ball than looking for her own options. So I think it was fully in her control when she decided to be active and effective point-wise for Ukrainian team. And already 22 points, still 1 minute to go in the second quarter. Yeah, you're right. Coach needs to put something in place.
Well, he's going to have to decide how he wants to get the ball out of her hand because she won't slow up. She has a tremendous engine. Yeah, she may miss, but like not when they give her opportunities like that. Or pass down the offensive end, she's going to go and score. They can't foul her and give her the extra.
Yeah, I wonder if Coach Mandela might would sacrifice one player on her or just, try to cut her off the ball completely. I know she's quite a physical player and she can make herself open, but it at least makes her work twice harder and it might give her a little bit tough time. So it will be interesting to see what, again, they're going to come out with that timeout because so far from the previous timeout, I'm pretty sure they didn't do what Coach Mandela asked them to or it didn't work.
Cheerleaders from that field, 5.
So, with 1:10 to go, we're not going to find out in the next 1:10 how he's going to decide to do it, I don't think. I think he'll talk about it in the halftime locker room. Meanwhile, Agiapova is going to increase her personal tally from the free throw line. Make that 23 first half points. You said 40. You said 40 plus. She is on that way. We said as well, if you let her get 40, they could win.
Yeah, she could be the first player to even score that many points in EuroBasket history at this stage of the tournament.
Great find. Nichols from the low block to the weak side. And again, Spain miss. Agiapova has it. She scores. We have a 2 or 1 point game. Now she gets rid of it. Oh, and they find her on the back pass. If you're Gardner, the last thing you need to do is let her catch it around there. Great work on the glass. Both teams going after it. Tremendous effort. And Ukraine will get a full team. Oh, and she saw it, but she wasn't in a strong enough position to throw the pass. And Dominguez will hold for the last shot of the first half for Spain. Shot clock switched off. Whistle on the play. Are we shooting more free throws?
Yeah, we do. We do, and it gives still Ukrainian another position for 6 seconds. So I would bet with you, Mark, who's going to take the ball for that last 6 seconds of the Ukrainian.
6 seconds is more than enough time for her to get a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Sylvia Dominguez has to stop this little run that the Ukraine have been on going into the halftime. Makes the first. 5-point advantage for the defending champions. 2-2 for Dominguez. Agiapova has it, plenty of time, 5 seconds, she's in range right now, penetrates, skips through, is fouled, and of course it's a foul. Aragil off balance, contact, Agiapova takes 5 seconds to get down, get fouled, go to the free throw line.
What I could see as well from Agiapova is when she penetrates like this, she always goes left side.
Yep.
And I kind of wonder why you don't just cut her that left side so she would have to spin or change something.
That's it for the first
Agiapova scores the last point of the first half. The Ukraine are in this. The trouble is they've given up 47 points to a Spanish team that started very, very hesitantly and then just started to knock down perimeter jump shots for fun. 47 to 22 at the half. Spain have the lead, but this is by no means a controlled performance by Spain. Ukraine shooting 55 and 30. Spain 47 and 50% from the three-point line against that zone. You have to start to think, should I stay in the zone or not?
Yeah.
Rebound-wise, it's pretty tight. Assist-wise, Spain have 15 assists. Agiapova has 5 on her own.
Yeah, absolutely. It just shows that Spain really is sharing the ball well. But I think they're more struggling, not really offensively, because 47 points is really pretty decent performance point-wise and offensive-wise. But what they need to really find out is how to stop Agiapova, because scoring 24 points out of 42 team points, that's a another massive performance from this Ukrainian megastar.
So that'll do it for the first half. Marta Zagaye drops the 3. And Spain with a 47-42 advantage, looking to secure their first win of this EuroBasket 2019. And we'll be back in around 10 minutes for the second half. We'll see you then. 2-on-1. Oh, now this.
The big block.
Ivanovic, who at the moment is just carrying Serbia at both ends. Leaves Spano on the floor and goes coast to coast. If you need a leader, they have one.
It's down. This is A-star quality. Torrance goes in. Oh, goodness me. The length of Torrance.
Oh.
He finds Mete, and then Kristinaki steps in. Now she's got a break. Tetron's going to try to catch her. Oh, she rejects her. Sends it over to row 8.
Aprīkojuma līmeni. Iepazīšanās piedāvājums 28,500 eiro. Mēs kustamies. Mēs elpojam. Mums ir emocijas. Lai arī ko mēs darītu, mums ir nepieciešams ūdens. Izvēlies dabīgo minerālu ūdeni. Laukgaļa, minerāls sāļiem pagāts.
Well, welcome back inside the Riga Arena here in Latvia. We're at halftime of Spain and the Ukraine. Spain with a 47 to 42 advantage. And you got to think that Ukraine, you know, they got broken down a little towards the end of that first half. And Spain started to make some jump shots, but they find themselves only 5 down. And while you've got Alina Agapova in the game, you have a chance, because she on her own with 24 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds is just getting it done.
Yeah, I think we definitely have a potential triple-double from this player in today's game. Here's this confirmation of what you just said: 24 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. And it will be interesting to see what such experienced coach as Coach Mondelo is going to come out with in terms of the strategy against her. Would he let her play and shine, or would he try to stop her? But to be honest, when Jakubova was on the bench in that time of the second quarter, Ukrainian team were huge struggling. As soon as she stepped on the court, she scored like 7 consecutive points, and I think it could be pain, a little bit for Spain, if Coach Mandela wouldn't put anything in place. So we'll see, really we'll see what the Spanish team is going to come out with.
Well, that will be the intriguing thing, is if people sitting at home are watching this thinking, what would they do? You know, do you double team? Do you deny her? Do you face guard? Do you... I don't know if you ever can stop her getting the ball. You just have to make her work, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Work twice harder, because if you allow her to get easy pass and just have those 2 dribbles on one spot, set her feet and get ready for her killing penetration, let's say, you won't really make any impact on that. So I think definitely Spanish team either, as you mentioned, have to go and try to trap her, or they need to really be more aggressive before she even gets the pass. So we'll see.
Well, Lucas Mondelo will know what they're going to do. Or does he just say, hey, I think our offense is good enough. She might score, but we're going to score. That's an interesting scenario when you've got such a high scorer on the other team who already has 24. Gonzaga has 16 points already for Spain, and we did say before the game, would and how would Spain react to missing Alba Torrens? Gonzaga has been good in preparation. She is that player in the prime, 28 years old, having played a number of EuroLeague seasons. And it'll be interesting to see if she can maintain that type of scoring numbers in this second half. And really to get going offensively, just has the 3 points. But as we know, she can light it up too. So Spain go back to the original starting lineup with Astu Indoor back in the game with Lara Nichols on the inside. And I like the 3-guard set with Cruz and Palau and Zargai. Those 3 players have known each other and played with each other for a long, long time, although they're currently trying to decide between them. You can't see it, we can. But they're not really, a lot of pointing going on.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's such experienced trio on the court, on the backcourt for Spain.
The answer to the question of how long you stay in the zone is longer than we have in the first half, because they're straight into it. Cruz, feet set, knocks it down. And
best thing you can do, first shot against the zone and make it.
I think the other way of looking at this is Ukraine said, well, the only way we might win is if they miss some jump shots, and we've got other games to play, so let's just play this one out in this way. Great try, super move. Let's go, Kvitska gets to the basket, gets the 2, and will go to the free throw line, and right from when she's joined the game, she has been impactful.
First personal call.
And that's the other problem, isn't it? You go to sleep when other people have him, waiting for Egyapova to get it.
That's what we've seen at the beginning of the game, and then she was just distributing to her teammates. And exactly the point what you just said, Mark, you still have to keep an eye on the other players as well. You are the EuroBasket woman.
And they're just going to play inside the 3. They're going to back Spain to miss jump shots. Zargai, great pass. Nichols with a super cut from high to low. Great execution again in that seam between the 3 and the 2. And they just didn't adjust as a group. And it just looks like they need more time in this zone. I mean, we saw them walk through it yesterday, and they didn't look like they played it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was a great move from Lara Nichols to cut really, to flash into that space right behind the back of the front line of the zone. That's where it was wide open spot.
Nichols makes the first. And knocks down the second, and goes to 9 personal. Egyapova, guarded by Zargai. We thought we'd see this matchup a lot, because Zargai, earlier in her career, was literally a Spanish player that always got the tough matchups. Well, I think she almost fell over her own player. Inside, outside. Skavitska penetrates Egyapova. Finds herself against Astu Indoor again. Skavitska for 3 is no good. And Anna Cruz does a great job keeping it alive. I'm not sure the referee's got that the right way around, but looked like Anna Cruz kept it alive and knocked it out of bounds. But I'm a long way from where the officials were, so...
I think it couldn't be any farther.
Well, I could be further in the seats. Cruz slices through and kicks. Zagai, feet set for three, count.
And another one. And now it's a question for Coach Moskovic. The question you've been asking, Mark, most of the game. Are they going to stay in that zone while the Spanish team started to hit the long distance shots?
Yeah, Pova off the glass for two, and if you let her beat you on a front cut, she's going to catch and score. Beautiful execution by the Ukraine. Just hanging around, and when you got someone like Pova, hanging around is dangerous. Zagai is fouled as there was a scramble situation.
Number 88, Ariana Kiska. Third, Yaroslav Paul. 2 falls for Team Ukraine.
The Spanish team, the body language and the conversations going on right now, they're not quite on the same page yet. And they've been in preparation for a long time, but Cruz will skip it, but I was looking to go to Nichols, but no option. Zagai on the move that time. That's a better execution of the zone because they made a move to catch. Agiapova intercepted by Anna Cruz. Numbers down the floor. Zagai at the foul line.
Oh.
And she could see it, and we could see it.
Yeah.
But Laura Nichols wasn't quite on the same page.
It's a shame she didn't look for her own shot because she's been shooting very well so far. Marta Zagai, 100% from 2 points. So when you want to force that pass, it's never going to be there.
So the Ukraine into the half court. Malyshenko. Everybody's a little still. This guy, Agiapova, comes high. Looks at the option. This looks like it's going up. Penetration. Poor finish. Plau runs, and she has numbers. Zagai on the wing. Cruz on the wing, attacks it, pulls up from the foul line, is long. And Dor just owned the glass. And you've got to reward on Dor again. Tremendous effort down the floor to outwork her opponent. Plau drops it inside. Nichols is too big, too strong, too everything. And Kravitska just had no option but to foul.
Yeah, but that was a great read from Leila Palau again, recognizing that Laura Nichols had on her back, and I think that would be. Yeah, Leila Palau, 6 assists so far, really controlling the rhythm of the game of the Spanish team.
Cruz will find Palau high. Stops and pops the three and just drops it.
Yeah, it was a really nice step into third quarter, hitting those 3 quick threes within the first 3 minutes. Killer.
Well, this is as well as the Spanish team has shot the ball for a while, but then again, they're playing in space, and the Ukraine can't get the 2 to drop. And Anna Cruz hunts it down. Numbers down the floor again for Spain. Nichols goes to the block, gives Cruz the space. They drop it inside. Zagai, feet set, lines it up, knocks it down. Every single time they have got their feet set, they have filled it up from deep. It's a 14-point game on the back of some phenomenal shooting from the three-point line. Spain exerting control here with 6:20 to go in the third. Timeout for the Ukraine.
When we go to screen, they push us, so we have to go faster. So we have to play twist next offense. Twist, twist. So here, but go fast from here, attack.
Hombro y por los ojos.
En el hombro, perdonad, el bloqueo lo están negando. ¿Queréis mano a mano? Pues
Well,
si
this is
subís al medio,
Mandela
hacemos
looking at a
este pump.
59% effort from the three-point line. There must come a point where they say we can't stand and look at people shooting the three.
Yeah.
So what if they make some other options? At the moment, they are just getting shot to bits.
Yeah, and it comes to that question you asked me earlier. Would you stay in that zone if Spain is hitting those threes? I think Coach Bošković now should take that risk and try to play a little bit of man-to-man or see how it's going to work for them, because right now really Spanish moves the ball well to the players who's hitting those shots. Marta Šošaj, 22 points, and she has been really shooting high percentage, so if they're not going to guard her on that line, she's going to keep making them.
Well, or they are playing for the tournament, as in it's Spain, we don't expect to win, we're just going to sit in the zone and get ready to win tomorrow and on Sunday. Iapova puts it on the floor. Nichols does a great job staying between her and the hoop and forces her to shoot the jump shot, and Palau needs a pass. And Zargai does a great job at getting her one, and foul is Radlovic, who just got a little too uptight and personal, just bumped her out of bounds with the body. Zargai draws the contact. Third team foul for the Ukraine.
We've seen a little discussion between Leva Palau and Piegupova about that elbowing and stuff, so
well, when you're 39 years old and played as long as Lau Palau, if you don't know how to do something, it's not worth knowing. Now Palau puts it on the floor, goes to the baseline, needs a pass, drops it inside beautifully, and Dor doesn't finish, stays with the play, gets the offensive rebound, tries to finish, and does. That's how you stay with plays, and just she would not be denied on the inside. That's doing Dor. Picks up her 4th point of the game.
That was a great power dribble she just have shown to young players who are watching this experienced group of Spanish players.
No foul, but definite injury. Zargai stops and pops from 2, doesn't get the drop. And we've got a whistle because right under the basket at the far end, nearly hit with the ball.
No. Looks like her,
I think she definitely twisted Orbet's
her knee.
Yeah, and she has just the knee support, so I don't think that's doing anything in terms of, but she definitely looked like she twisted that. And you know players are hurt when they don't move. You know, if they move and roll around, you're like, oh, is there a real, but she just went down and stayed down. And she's very unhelpfully not being given any assistance off the floor.
Yeah. And then she will be off the floor as quick as possible, and she finds a way quicker way.
Didn't anyone want to help her? Well, they wouldn't think like, oh, she might need some help to get to the bench. Two of the medical staff went on the floor, and then she just out-hopped them.
That's correct.
She literally out-hopped them to the bench. Agiapova. 16-point margin they're looking at now, the Ukraine. They have to find a way to stop the Spanish offense. They just can't. Nice pass. Nico comes back, finishes the play. Rudenko gets the 2. Down the other way. And Spain don't get the 2. Agiapova, chance to reduce the margin even further. And Lara Nichols took one for the team, let's put it that way. There's no way she was going to steal it, but a genuine attempt, it looked like, to play the ball, so no unsportsmanlike.
That was definitely a tactical foul from Lara Nichols to stop Piegupova before she even gets closer to the hoop. This is a great shot of Donienko. Great footwork, great pass from Piegupova. The defender.
Still only a 14-point game. Ukraine, as well as Spain have shot, have managed to keep this scoreboard ticking over. And therefore, they are still more than in this. Agiapova has it on the inside, takes the little fade away, and sweet. Pretty looking one-legged step back. 12-point game, and while she's on the floor, they are always going to hang around. They stay with the zone. Just got to move as a unit of 5. Now outside, will take the ball screen, stops and pops the 2. Oh, wow, roll back the years. Now Palau was just intent to score.
I think that was the second time she even looked at the hoop, because she's the type of player who more looks for passes than for herself, and sometimes she even over-combined things.
Absolutely.
But so far, anytime she decided to take her shot, she was quite effective.
Rudenko off the glass for 2, it's good. And she's becoming a factor as this game develops. A long 3 is no good. Rudenko's gone to 9 personal. Meanwhile, Agiapova guarded by La Palau. They'll switch that. Nichols offers her the 3. She takes the 3. Doesn't get the job. Rudenko keeps it alive. Blocked by Nichols. And that's how to get back in the game. She challenged the Agiapova shot, then gets back on the glass, and is going to get rewarded. She's going to walk the floor and shoot the throws. Good things happen if you work hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lara Nichols is quite consistent with her performances on the board. She never gives up one ball in there.
3:25 to go, quarter 3. And Spain up 12, but you never feel them they're that comfortable, Teresa.
Yeah, you can't. Against a team like Ukraine, you can't feel comfortable till you hear the last buzzer for sure. Great free throw. The Spanish team has shot already 20 free throws, scoring 17, which is 85%, which is quite impressive percentage from the foul line. And I think that's what's really giving them an advantage in this game.
Foul was called unsportsmanlike as inside-outside, and Cruz is short with the jump shot. Whistle on the play. Very noticeable that Coach Mondelo has said, I'm not going rotation here. These guys are playing well. We need to put this one to bed. I don't need to rotate. Hardly no rotations coming off that bench, apart from no rotations coming off that bench in this third period.
Yeah, so the game plan coming out of the changing rooms into the third quarter was probably just to stick to your experience core and just let them play.
And we're going to outscore them.
Yeah, and trust the ability of them and trust the experience
Which
in
is
them.
very simple, very effective, and you know exactly what you're going to get. But it's the more that they shot the ball well, and so he backed his shooters, and his shooters have replayed the faith. 14-point lead with the second free throw to come from Endor, who, if anyone has struggled, it's been her. That's only her 5th point on the game, but she hasn't had a lot of touches, to be fair. So she goes to 5 personal. Only Nichols and Zagai are in double figures. Agiapova with the basketball. Holding foul away from the ball. Endor's going to pick up the personal. And that's only the 13th foul for Spain.
3 faults for Team Spain.
Agiapova. Looks like it looks to the baseline, and the pass was there, it was just poorly executed.
Yeah, the angle wasn't really ideal as well for that pass when you're in the same line as your player. I think if there would have been one that extra pass, it might would have been better for sure.
Spain. Gill enters the game.
Right.
Zagai on the move. Well, she closed the short 2, but it was pretty to watch. Ukraine will push. And China in the game. And the foul on the play. Malashenko with a corner off the pass. So with the sideline possession. Lara Nichols is going to sit. Everyone moves around and they get the matchups they want.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she's going to sit just because she has committed now a 3rd personal foul, and otherwise Coach Mandela would still let play that core of the Spanish team.
Well, Pina and Lara Gill in the game. sideline possession for the Ukraine. Pressure release by Rudenko. Whistle on the play, travel. Palau with the smile. Always good to see. Anna Cruz moves it on. Now penetrates far side of the ring. Tough move.
Third possession for Leila Palau. Having that intention to attack the hoop and scoring. Great play.
It's like a fine wine. You get better with age, and she's playing tremendously well. Kudus penetrates. Tough move. Doesn't get the roll on the lap. Anna Cruz has it. Leads the break. Palau penetrates. Now she needs a pass. Finds it. Zargai gets it back. Palau. Feet set. Will attack it on the dribble. Oh. Little right-hand finger roll for two. Palau. 12 points personal. When was the last time she was the second top scorer on the Spanish national team?
I think she's again proving us that once we say she never looked for her on shots,
exactly.
She just gives us those top points right now, right away. Here you are. I do.
Agapova steps back to three. And the three-point threat is, you really can, if you contain it, the three-point threat is a little hot, is a little hit and miss, and Palau pushes off, doesn't like the contact. She'll go to the free throw line for two. Chance to make this a 20-point game. With 1:08 to go in the third. Palau will sit down if she makes a second. Sylvia Dominguez is ready to check in. And she could leave with her team with a 20-point advantage, which she does. Palau will sit down, and the Spanish fans, it's not that many, I think they're all waiting to go to celebrate. Really appreciate that performance. That's a tremendous 9 minutes of basketball by the unit that Modelo started. Only Zargai remains from the lineup that started this second half.
Scoring 27 points in this third quarter exactly confirms what you just said, Mark. It's a great performance.
Oh, the three is dropped by Morodovic. First action for her, and she just doesn't care. Steps in, knocks down the three. Says, "Coach, I've been here the whole game." Dominguez looks inside. Great effort defensively, but they can't come up with the steal. Dominguez attacks the closeout and gets fouled on the penetration. I was just about to say went a little too deep. But Silva Dominguez finds herself on the free throw line. We're shooting more free throws.
Yeah, it's the 24th and 25th free throw of the Spanish team in this game, which is just such a high number. And if we consider another 14 from the Ukrainian team, I think gives you 40 foul shots in this game. Not the quickest game to watch.
No, no. And there's no lineup, so I assume we'll find out what happened. Oh, no one was lining up for the first, that's all. They decided to hang out before the second free throw. Dominguez. In fact, there must have been something said.
Yeah. Because Sylvia Dominguez definitely wasn't shooting threes. So
Coach Tech. So we missed that, but we quickly caught up. And Boskovic is probably just a little frustrated right now. His team played well in the first half. Have been in contention for most of the game. Now they're looking at a 20-point margin. And I'm not sure how much we've found out about Ukraine in this game so far. because the 3-2 zone has been shot to bits, but they've stayed in it. So maybe they wrote this game off.
Yeah, but I can imagine if Ukraine play against the teams who can't hit the threes, that zone defense would be really effective.
But have they gone to the zone because they want to, or have they gone to the zone because they're trying to reserve themselves for the rest of the tournament? Because both Latvia and Great Britain, the other two teams in this group, shoot the basketball very well from the perimeter too. So I'm not sure. The only way we'll find out is what they do tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly, as what you said. If I consider the size of Ukrainian players, I would say they definitely would be slower than some shorter guards of the oppositions, and they might want to feel that pain. But as you just said, the other teams are really good shooters, and they can really hit some threes. So it's going to be nice to see tomorrow in that game.
It's a good contribution already from Olahovic, who still plays her basketball in Kiev. Very deep three is no good. And the ball goes off Zagai and will stay with the Ukraine with 1.6 seconds of the period remaining. It's a catch and shoot moment. Got to go up, the three is gone, and good!
And again, she proves your words, great performance.
She's going to be sitting down in that quarter huddle saying, Coach, I just stepped off the bench and it's 7 points. I've got 3 fouls from earlier on, but hey, I was ready. There it is, confirmation at the end of 3. Spain have a 76-60 advantage, and Coach Mondero is in control mode now, shooting 53% from the three-point line. They've had a great day at the office so far, still a quarter to go. They trail 16. As you said, Coach Mondelo, probably said, hey, I'm good enough, we're going to do this, all right, we shoot the ball. He's been in his team in preparation, and he's just kept it simple, and his team have just repaid his faith and had a huge quarter, points-wise, just a huge quarter.
Yeah, scoring 29 points against 18 of Ukrainian. Yeah, absolutely. And now we see the Ukraine stepping on the court with Targetova, and it comes to the question, does Coach Buskovic just saving her for another game? Most probably yes. But still we have a quarter to go, 16 points, anything can happen. But right now the Spanish team plays really, really fulfilling their strengths, let's say, what they're really good at. And we see that same squad on the court again, the starting 5 and the most trusted core of Coach Mondelo.
As you said, it's never over until it's over. However, a 16-point advantage against one of the best teams in the world, the #2 ranked FIBA on the FIBA rankings. But if you keep making threes, and this is the thing here, sometimes with no pressure, with your superstar off the floor, it's amazing what some people will do. Back to a 13-point game and a cruise. And Mondelo knows that because he's back with his starting lineup. So no complacency by Spain. Indoor catches deep. Inside out goes to Zagai. 3 seconds. Well, you make a move to the inside, you post up, you catch, you think about it, you kick it out. I don't know many times that's not 3 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to step out of the paint and again reposition if you want to play there again. You can't just pack yourself in there.
So the Ukraine, perhaps with a little bit of momentum here. And I think we saw it, the back door was there.
Yep, and one thing you don't want when you're trying to play backdoor is to fake your teammate, and that's what just happened with Cerkivska.
It's one of those rules of thumb, isn't it? If you're going to go backdoor, you've at least got to
have to go,
get to the keyway before you come back out. Now Palau in the half court. Cruz. Nichols dives, gets deep, goes off the glass, doesn't get the roll, and Ukraine have got stops at the early part of this fourth quarter. And Kavitska gets them into the half court. Polovic moves it on. Step through with a second move, and they blow a layup. And they've had an opportunity there to cut it to a very interesting 11. Cruz inside, Palau close against the closeout. Nice pass. Nichols heads up.
You don't really need to dribble the ball at all. Just keep your head up and look for your open teammates.
15-point game. Zagai goes to 24 points on 57% from the floor. And the three, which has to drop, is not dropping. Anna Cruz in transition, needs a pass, finds one. Palau thinks about it, attacks the closeout. Nice find. And Laura Nichols for two is no good. And the Ukraine come up with a defensive rebound. And Malashenko is having a good game statistically. Kicks to the baseline. Inside out. 5 on the shot clock. They drop it inside for two is good.
It's been great defense till that last rotation when Leila Palau forgot to drop down to cover this pass.
Well, now Menko got the two. It would be nice to see if Ukraine could just get over the double-digit barrier. That would make life very interesting. Zagai, he's been phenomenal. Looks inside, Lara Nichols gets it deep, going up. Off the glass for two is no good. And if you make a move a little bit, she does struggle still, going laterally. But it's Kavitska at the top, will take the ball screen. Attacks the drive lane, nowhere to go, needs a pass. Deep catch, off the glass for two is no good. And they have had two great looks down low, and Malachenko hasn't finished again, and those two makes, and we could be looking at single digits. Now Palau's trying to slow it up a little. And the Ukraine just have to come up yet another stop. Palau stops and pops. And she, at 39 years of age, having a great season in Liga Femenina 1, is being so aggressive offensively. 16 points personal for her. And playing with almost the energy of a youngster again.
Yeah, absolutely. And then she just leads the Spanish team right now.
Well, the Ukraine, Boba's going to come back in, but they're running out of options scoring-wise.
Yeah, I think Coach Pushkovic still believes or thinks that Yegorova can maybe break this game, because 15 points, 6 minutes to go. Hard task, but not impossible.
I'll tell you, the intriguing question for me is how much faith does Coach Mondello have with his bench? Because he's just not going there.
Yeah.
You know, his starters, at the start of this quarter, Nichols done sat down for 3 minutes. Zagai, because she picked up a couple of early fouls, sat down for only 6-7 minutes. Now Palau had played like 20 minutes at that point, and back on still on the floor. And Cruz also way into the 20s already, as is Astor and Dor. So un-Spanish-like in terms of rotations. Maybe they'll ask you that in the press conference.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure the question's going to come out there, because the second half obviously shows that Coach Mondello really give a faith into his core players. And that has been working so far well. So he doesn't want to risk any drama in this first game of the EuroBasket for Spanish team and Ukraine as well.
And they play Great Britain tomorrow, same time, same place. And a Great Britain team that will be buoyed by the success of their game early on, and the two teams played in Fuenlabrada. just before this tournament started, and Spain just sneaked it by 2. And again, Mondello pretty much played his key players, so it's going to be intriguing. This group, interesting.
Yeah, but if Spain's going to take the first place in the group, then obviously it gives them the extra day off to recover the minutes they're going to put in their feet within these games when they really have that load. So again, the question is it the strategy of Coach Mondello, knowing that they grab that first spot and he doesn't allow any drama to grab it, to give them the extra day while they're going to travel from here to Serbia.
Just be interesting to see how they come out of today's game tomorrow night. Extra pass, but Al attacks again. Nice little pass. Now Gil can't go up, has to get out of the keyway. The 3 has gone for Zagai and drops another. And goes to a phenomenal 27 points personal. We're talking about Yapova, and she has 28, and Zagai on 27.
I was just about to mention, we're giving credit to Yapova, but to be honest, Sharga has really tremendous game today, shooting 60% from 2s and 60% from 3s.
Super player.
Absolutely.
One of those players that's a great role model for players in terms of how hard she works at their game. Now Menko moves it on. They go inside. Ball stolen. Zagai again at the defensive end.
Yep.
And foul.
Yep.
Technical foul called on Udenko. Udodenko picks up a technical foul. Ukraine have lost a little bit of composure as this game has started to slip away from them. Back to a 20-point game. Play a technical foul. A single shot plus possession. Why not let Marta Zagai go to 28 points?
Shooting quite impressive percentage, 23-29 for Spanish team.
29 free throws.
Yeah. It's a 23 points out of 86 only from their foul line. I've never have a defender easy 23
That's
points.
a quarter of your points.
Yes, indeed.
Zagai floater for 2 and goes to the free throw line.
She just makes those points look so unforced, like you don't even know she scored 30 points almost. I think she did, yeah, that was her 30th point, and now she's about to score 31st and she makes that free throw. But you wouldn't really say that we really focused on her in this game as much as on Yakupova.
Well, we talked pre-game about who was going to be the leader at the offensive end of the floor to try and take up the slack left by Albert Torrens' injury through the absence through the unfortunate injury. The Cruz comes up with a steal, and they're still playing hard with 4:30 to go, and he still has the starters on the floor, but Laura Gill instead of indoor. And Zagai will bring it out and give it up. No, Palau into the half court.
Great cut.
Beautiful cut. And she tried to make the pretty finish, maybe didn't need to. Yakupova. Beautiful little crossover in transition. That's when she's very effective.
Yeah, and again, she grabs the ball even on her defensive half and just brings it all the way to the hoop.
Jill moves it on. Pilar. Nichols on the inside. Foul. That'll go foul from behind. That'll put the Ukrainians in the penalty again.
Yeah, and if you're Okovic, you really want to change your position defensively, not just follow the Gil to come and cut towards the ball. You want to cut her, bump her in the paint, and don't allow this easy pass down.
Well, finally, in this second half, Coach Mondello rotates. Only Lara Nichols from the starting lineup left on the floor. She relieves the pressure out of bounds. Cajas will find Dominguez. Gil doesn't catch it as deep as she could. Tries to go to work. Goes to the left hand off the glass for 2. Tough move. 91 to 67, 3.5 to go. Yagupova, guarded by Pina. Yagupova baseline is fouled with the push as she went baseline. We'll go to the free throw line. The other thing, Teresa, with this margin, it's all very well saying, hey, we're just going to go through the motions on this game. Mentally, it's hard sometimes you lose by 20, 30 points. You know, you can talk about it as much as you want, but the player still sees that margin, and it's not a great place to be.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
And then, they play a Latvian team tomorrow that needs to win with the crowd, with some emotion. If they start well, and Ukraine go down, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. It's a very dangerous thing to do unless you have players that are mentally aware of the approach that says this game is not how we qualify.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree, and that's a great point. But to be honest, my feeling, I don't even feel that margin is that high. So because Ukraine has put in place the first half really good performance, and they definitely should come out of this game with the feeling of that and not of the second half.
But they haven't rotated everybody to share the minutes, so they're all fresh for tomorrow. Agiapova's back on the floor. She's playing many minutes. She's taking 32. She's getting 32 points. So it's
that's a good point, and that's really up to Coach Vuskovic what he really wants. But you're right, because right now the game is 22 points difference, and that's a big margin to cut in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and especially against the experienced team as a Spanish team is. So you might want to consider to save some minutes and for the most crucial games for your nation. Ooh.
Blocking foul. That'll be the second team foul for Spain with 2:49 to go in this fourth quarter.
Number 18, Casas, first personal ball. 2 falls for Team Spain.
Iapova will advance the basket, regarded, and they've tried. Spain have decided to go big and guard her big, and force her to do that. Which she's dropped that one, but her three-point numbers are not anything to write home about. And she has 35 points, but statistically, she's had one of those games where she scored 35 points.
Yeah, overall shooting 57%, only 28 from 3-point.
Yeah, so, 2-point line, she's been to the free throw line 13 times. Penetration rate yield for 2.
2 points.
So if there is a place you wanted to shoot the ball from, make her shoot the 3. She's going to the basket. She's just almost impossible to guard.
Yeah.
Easy 2 on the baseline drive. And Kundas is impressed off the bench. Skip pass, just about retained by Kathas, who takes the baseline. Now she needs a pass. Baseline jump shot, Pepina is no good. That's a rebound. Lara Gill just, again, you earn your living doing a great job on the glass. She shows you why.
Yeah, she's been in the team of Spain quite a long time as well, and that's what is her job role, to go and grab those rebounds and work hard on the glass.
Well, yet another rebound for her. Kathas puts it on the floor, goes to right, and an interesting pass.
Yeah, it was almost, I want to hit those feet, because there was like not even 1 meter between those two players, and you want to just tip the ball high for your big to catch it and finish.
Nice look. Right. She'll goes up, she's fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. And the help for Yatskovets was a little late. With 1:15 to go, Lara Gill on the free throw line to try and increase the Spanish lead back out to 21 points.
I always love to see when the screener looks at the ball, because a lot of time the player who screens the teammate is the one who's going to be open, because the defense needs to sort out that screen, needs to sort out the main intention to deliver a ball for the player who comes off that screen. So that's been great look from Laura Gill and great look from Creole Costas.
Well, we're approaching 53 throws for the game.
Of one team.
No.
Oh.
Agiapova with lots of time and space just buries the three.
I think she has decided to go for those 40 points in this game, but...
Well, 38 so far. Cathas will find Jura the high post. Dominguez on the ball reversal. Cathas catches and attacks, has to pull it back. Now Gilles with the ball screen. Pina just about gets it away, but well, the referee says no.
There's a violation, shot clock for sure. It's way too late.
Well, we've made the 53 throw mark. For those fans trying to get buses home. This one's will only be sideline possession. Two free throws for Spain, 18 for the Ukraine.
Really ridiculous numbers now.
And to be fair, the officials had no alternatives. It's just one of those things they had to call. Gilles they're going to call it unsportsmanlike, quite rightly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to get free throws.
Another one, Mark.
And possession. Spain a chance here to go to 95 points and possession.
And a timeout.
Timeout for Spain as they lead by 16 with 2 free throws to come. It's been after a slow start by Spain, so they've scored 93 points and they pretty much didn't show up until 5 minutes into the first quarter. In fact, the Ukraine led at the end of quarter one, so it's been impressive by Spain in terms of their ability to shoot the basketball against a zone that got very, very static as this game developed.
Yeah, absolutely, and also they've been sharing the ball very well with 26 assists in this game compared to 13 of Ukrainian. And another good fact is that we have 4 players in double digits. Laura Nichols 11, Dominguez 10, Carlo 16, and Jargai 31. It just shows you again, and it proves the words we said at the beginning of the game, that the Spanish team plays really good team game, and that's how beating right now the Ukraine, because Ukraine has that one player, Yakupova, but we said that she can't win the game on her own, even though she's done pretty good first 3 quarters, let's say, before she was sitting for a longer period of time on the bench, and now she came back again in the last quarter. But one player really, it must be something absolutely tremendous to beat at this level a team of the quality of Spain. So I think Coach Mondelo really that second half trusted his core, and that was the best decision he could make, because the core has rewarded him with a great performance in the second half.
Gilles makes the first of the 2. Spain will get possession on the sideline. SS will inbound. Spain have a 14-second still in the matchup zone. Dominguez, feet set for 3. Agiapova keeps it alive. Ukraine come down with it. Agiapova has it. 7 on the clock. Spain double team. And the Ukraine lose the opportunity to get the last shot. They just about take a prayer, which is not answered. And Spain, after a slow start, in so many ways a slow start, get the 95-77 win.
Final score, 95-77. Thank you everybody for being here today with us. It's a wrap for the first day of FIBA Women's EuroBasket 2019. Group phase here in Latvia. From that home state, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Already at 1 o'clock, when the first day.
So players shaking hands mid-court after, as I say, a slow start by Spain, but from minute 5 they really did take off from a 95 to 77. When we're going to get a look at the stats, Teresa, and it's going to tell you, it's going to say Spain shot well, as much as everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Overly, they shoot 48%, 46 from 2 and 52 from 3. So they basically shoot better from the arc than from a mid-range, which is a crazy number. It's hard to beat a team to have this high percentage, scoring 11 threes in this game. And what's more, they also scored 26 points out of the free throws, which is another ridiculous number.
26 free throws, 24 points from inside players, gives you 50. They're still scoring 45 from the perimeter. And okay, against the zone, that's what you're going to get. You're going to make and take. You're going to take those shots. You have to make them. But here are those statistics, and you know, rebound numbers exactly the same. Turnovers 17 to 10. Spain always take great care of the basketball. One of the most efficient teams in world basketball. But 28 fouls and 20 fouls. That's 48 fouls in the game. It wasn't a physical game at all. Bit of a slappy game, should we say. Aguirre had 38. Zagai was tremendous. 31 points. Nichols literally put in a shift, as we see Marta Zagai's mother. And steals for Cruz had 4. Indoor, who had a quiet game but just chipped in. And in other games, she's going to be the big factor. But the scorers and the main part for Spain was those perimeter players, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we knew the prediction before this game was that obviously we will see a big contribution of the backcourt of the Spanish guards, because they are deep in bench as well as within the players like who are on the court. And Marta Zagaj confirmed great shooting. What all as well, Leila Palau, great distribution of the game of the ball, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Another great performance of this 39 years old veteran, scoring 16 points. I think Spain will be definitely hard to beat, and this was only the first game of the tournament.
Well, I'd just like to add to the Palau thing. She looked like she was 39 going on 20, because like she was aggressive, broke the defense down, shot her own shot when she needed to, a couple little floaters as well as the perimeter jump shot, and got into it a little bit with Aguirre, because you know you don't give anything up out there cheaply. And if she's going with that attitude, the things look good for the Spanish team, because the concern I had coming in is it's an old team. But they didn't play like an old team. Once they got into it, they played like a team that's really, really focused and really, really motivated. So bad news for the rest of the tournament. Great news for us. Tremendous news for us, because a great playing Spain is a joy to watch. But for everybody else, as we see again, the old family hug on the sideline. Lara Nichols' shot there, I think, has got a key role as this tournament develops, but we'll see, because tomorrow night the two teams that win on day 1 will play each other, and the 2 teams that lost. So big night in the Group A standings that we're going to get a look at in a moment. But Coach Mondello and his staff should be happy, should give the big thumbs up. Anna Cruz chipped in. But I don't think we know anything more about Ukraine now, apart from what we already knew. Going into tomorrow, Aguirre was the main player. I don't know how much defense they can play since they stood in the zone. But we shall see as we get a shot in slow motion. One of the best forms from the three-point line there is in world basketball, as Marta Zagaj knocked down another 3. So it was, I don't know if it was interesting though. I don't think, as I say, I don't think we know anything more about this Ukraine team, apart from they have a great scorer and they have some players who can play, but I'm not sure how much we found out tonight with the view of who will qualify and how well they would do. More replays of Aguirre's scoring. So players on the slow-mo, we're going to get a look at the Group A table with Great Britain and Spain with the 1-0 record. They play tomorrow night. Latvia and Ukraine will also play. Big game, because a loss for one of those two teams is going to be a really tough ask to get out of this group if they lose, especially if it's Latvia, because they only have Spain to play. So we'll see you tomorrow for more action from Riga. Bye for now.
Number 8, Vita Morgan.